All right, number 7.
LLJ Cool J.
So when I started to write his review, I literally got stuck with the extensive history that he has with the culture from the beginning of it all. Like, my first exposure to LL was Rock the Bells song and Radio, and that scene from Crush Groove. My man walked to the room, pushed people off, box. Yo, that was one of the dopest lines he ever hit. But my first memory that stands out in my childhood was the song I Need Love. To this day, I can still recite the first 4 bars. Maybe we all know. Come on, sing along with me, y'all. When I'm alone in my room, sometimes I stare at the wall, and in the back of my mind, I hear my conscience call, telling me I need a girl who's as sweet as a dove. For the first time in my life, I see I need love. There I was, giggling. Come on, y'all know you know how it go. This was essentially a love note. The sign of the times, man. The 80s, when you had actually sweet talk ladies instead of texting them pictures of your body parts. L was hip-hop's first heartthrob for real, and he gained a whole other demographic of listeners, a female that will pay for it, and that changed the game. I mean, listen, I'm pretty sure the ladies were participating with the Salt and Peppers, JJ Faz, MC Lights, Queen Latifahs, etc. I'm sure they purchased their stuff too. But James Todd Smith was another story. That I Need Love though? Come on, B. Overnight pop star, he instantly found his niche with women. Not only was he talking to the ladies, but he still had the ear of the streets with joints like Bad, Cut Creator, and the Bristol Hotel. Yo, my dad bought me that Bad album in '87. On vinyl, and was one of my favorite albums from LL. And at the time, it's the Billboard's favorite album for 11 weeks. It reigned at number 1 on the hip hop and R&B list and peaked at number 3 on the top 200. And only the 4th hip hop album to ever go platinum at that point. And this was on the Upstart label that eventually became the standard of the industry and one of the most iconic music labels in the world with Def Jam. The next summer in '88, he dropped his 3rd album, Walking with a Panther. They gave us joints like Going Back to Cali, Jingling Baby, Jack the Ripper, Big Old Butt, and I'm That Type of Guy, which earned him another platinum plaque and the top of the hip hop and R&B charts for 4 weeks and peaking on number 6 on the billboards, solidifying another banger for the people. And in the vaunted year of 1988, which some do regard as the greatest year in hip-hop, behind or rivaling 1996. This was in competition with albums like Long Live the Cane, BDP, All Means Necessary, and The Great Adventures of Slick Rick, Follow the Leader, Straight Outta Compton, Takes a Nation, and more. And the only song to chart that year out of all of that heat I just ran down was Going Back to Cali. Although the album was a commercial success, it wasn't really seen as such with the purists at the time. So he teams up with Marley Marl for the next project, which is probably his biggest album since Bad, with Mama Said Knock You Out. With that being the title track in the opening bar stating, "Don't call it a comeback." This joint carried the smash around the Way Girl, Eat 'em Up L, Milky Cereal, Booming System, and Mr. Goodbar. This brought L back from an L the hip-hop community thought he took with the last album. He moved from the blend of rock of sound to keep up with the new standard of the sample era. This album brought him back to the notoriety he was used to, and immediately going gold, but soon to double platinum in the early 90s. But gaining the street cred, that was necessary too. It even won him a Grammy. At this juncture in time, even though L had the radio-friendly tracks, everything was turning real hardcore. And in '94, he tried to keep pace, and it was a swing and a miss with that 14 shots to the dome joint. That joint was F, y'all. Sorry. He still managed to garner a couple tracks out of it, The Backseat of My Jeep and Pink Cookies in a Plastic Bag, which is one of the most random titles of a song I've ever heard. Anyway, after that, the last good album he would release would be the Mr. Smith album in '95. It gave us joints, the Doing It joint, Lounging, Hey Lover, I Shot Ya, and even Hollis to Hollywood. And I remember when this came out because me and my boy would ride around his sister's brand new Eclipse with the Lost Boys CD, this album Because I Shot Ya, and a bunch of clue tapes getting numbers. The glory days, I tell you, the glory days. L made a splash with the album and gained a lot of fans back from the last joint. I personally thought he was washed after that, but he redeemed himself with this project. It went double plat. Now, I personally wasn't checking for L after that, but he seemed to stay relevant with the next album in '97, Phenomena, and the monster track 4321, and in 2000 with the GOAT album that gave us the Ill Bomb. Then after that it was kind of spotty music, but then his legacy was already etched in stone. We're talking Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, we're talking 2 Grammys, we're talking first hip-hop artist to receive a Kennedy Center honoree, we're talking star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame, we're talking he made it cool to talk to ladies on wax, and LL always knew how to talk to the ladies. We're talking Rock the Bells Radio on XM Satellite here, y'all. We're talking a legendary career and still doing shows. And I haven't even talked about his acting career, but I ain't got time for that. L is solidified.
It's right here, all right?